All right, Rocketeers, good morning and welcome to our first live meeting. So every morning we are going to be meeting at 8:45 in the morning to do a real class. And we are going to be meeting as the Hokies and the Bruins every single morning over Zoom so that we can see each other. I'm going to go through today and explain to you like what we're going to be doing and how you can work your meeting. So if you can't turn your camera on right now, I'm going to teach you how. So sit back, relax, and enjoy learning about what we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. All right, so live teaching is, give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Great, awesome, thank you. Just want to make sure. And give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Great, thanks. Live teaching is when the teacher, me and Ms. Neiman, are going to call all of you in the morning. And we are going to do a lesson together instead of you guys watching a recording. I'm sorry, you can hear my cat. It's a little loud this morning. And then you guys are going to be participating just like in class by answering questions and completing work over the meetings that we have. Why we're going to be doing this is so that we can meet together as a class or two classes so that we can give you feedback so you don't have to wait until after we grade your work. You'll get it right away from us. And you get in the moment support. So if you have questions, you don't have to ask. We'll be right here to help you and answer your questions. Some incentives that we have for you for joining us is when you come on time and when you join us for our Zoom meeting, you will get some Class Dojo points. So if your parents have not connected with Class Dojo, then you can encourage them to connect with Class Dojo so that you can see your daily points that you earn. You can get points for asking questions about what we're doing. You can get dojo points for answering a question during a discussion, and you can get Class Dojo points for exemplary work, which means A+ work that you've been doing in ELA and in your Zoom meeting with Ms. Hua, which I'll talk about in just a minute. So cool Class Dojo points coming your way. We've changed all of our point system in Class Dojo, so added some new points in there. Zoom expectations. So most of you did pretty well already with a lot of these. You have your video on and you typed in your real name when you logged in. The only thing we ask is that you type in your first and last name so that we can take attendance to see who's here. So if you come to a meeting and Miss Garrett is teaching, then Miss Naiman is going to be taking attendance and going to be answering questions. If you come to a Zoom meeting where Miss Naiman is teaching, then I'm going to be looking at all the names on the videos and taking attendance and seeing who's here. If you have a question, you're going to raise your hand. You can do this not just in the video, but you can also do this on your chat screen. So if everyone looks at their computer screen and you look at the bottom of your window, there should be, I can't see it because I'm projecting my screen, but there should be a little button at the bottom, a little arrow that you can click where you can click raise hand. Does anybody see that? An arrow to click and then it says raise your hand. If you can see it, click on it so I can see that you see it.
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do.
Miss Neiman, since I can't see my screen because I'm sharing, can you see the arrow?
So there's no arrow, it's under the participants button. If you click on that, then you will be able to raise your hand.
Does everyone see a button that says participants? Oh, Timothy, I see you see it. Great. Thanks, Timothy. Oh, I see a couple other Rocketeers have found it too. Great. I will post some how-to documents to show you how to raise your hand. Oh, I see a couple other friends found it too. Great. And if you click on it again, you can lower your hand, or I can click on it and lower your hand too, which is super cool. Okay. So that's how you can raise your hand. You can also type any questions you have in chat. So if Ms. Garrett or Ms. Mayman are speaking and you have a question, you can type in chat. Please leave chat only for questions. Don't use it to discuss with your friends. A reminder that the chat saves. So we can see everything that you've had a conversation with, or anything that you answer or ask inside the chat window. Share the mic. So if you are speaking a lot, make sure you leave room for other people to answer questions, or to speak and be a part of the conversation. So don't be the only person who is speaking. A good rule of thumb is that if you're not speaking, you have your microphone on mute. I think everyone right now, except for me, if I'm looking through all the pictures, has their microphone on mute, and I can mute you, or the teacher can mute you as well. If we feel like yours is being a little too noisy, we do that so there's not a lot of background noise. And then when you're in the room, make sure you're being respectful in the waiting room. So if a teacher is not here, you'll be placed in a waiting room. A lot of you were in there this morning, and then we'll let you into the classroom. It's just so random people that we don't want to be in our classroom don't join. That's why we do that. And make sure you stay in one place. So I see Nolan is sitting down in one place. He's not moving around and walking around with his computer, because when you do that, it creates a lot of distractions for everybody. And sometimes it can make the video really shaky. All right. Does anyone have any questions right now about anything I've talked about? So about your expectations for Zoom. Clicking through to make sure. Yes, Trancy, what is your question? You need to.
No, it's okay if you let your if you don't know how to use the computer. It's okay if you let your parents help you on their computer.
Yeah, that's absolutely okay. And if you
I'm using my mom's.
Yeah, that's totally fine. And if you're having problems with your computer with how to use Zoom, I put in Google Classroom a document that says Zoom, and it shows you step by step how to log into Zoom and how to use all the different buttons on your Zoom. So Kenny, please turn your video on. If you don't know how to do it, there's a little button at the bottom. Timothy, Justin, Dylan, go ahead and turn your videos on. Timothy and Kenny, please turn your video back on. Thank you. We want to see your beautiful faces. We don't get to see you that much, so it's nice.
It won't work for me again. This is the last time.
Oh, it's cool.
Okay, I'm going to mute a couple friends. Thank you. All right. On this slide, we have some expectations for ELA, math, and OLPs. I will post these slides on Google Classroom so you can look at them later too. So for ELA, we hope that you participate, you pay attention, you follow our expectations we just went over, you try your best, so some level 2 work, you answer the read aloud questions, you do your essay passages, you write in complete sentences and fully answer your questions. For math, Ms. Ha and Ms. Hernandez are expecting you to also participate, to do your number stories with complete full expectations of using race. You complete your math board and you prove how to get your answer. Ms. Husband's so impressed with how many people are completing math, but not a lot of people are proving their work. So make sure you make that next step. And for OLPs, Ms. Hernandez is asking that you try your weekly goals, which is 2 green lights, 60 minutes, freckle, 3 lessons, and light sail 80 minutes, which is 20 minutes a day. I know we can get those OLP numbers up. And if you meet your goals, you will also get Class Dojo points for your OLPs. Oops, too far. We also have here your schedule. So this will also be posted in Google Classroom, remember. So if you don't memorize it now, that's okay. So every day we will have the same link to join our classroom. Every single day, the Hokies and Bruins will be in the same class together. You can join us in the morning at 8:45 to 9:30. And during that time, we're going to be doing read aloud, and we're going to be reading a new novel, which I'm super stoked about. And then you have a little bit of a break. And then after that, you're going to use the same link that I've already given to you on, on Google Classroom to log in every day. And you're going to do math with Miss Hutt, and Miss Hernandez will be there too. And you'll be doing these things in Miss Hutt's room, number story, which is super cool that you guys get to do that with Miss Hutt. And then the penguins and anteaters, they have the opposite schedule. They're in math with Miss Hutt first, and then they're with us later on. So Hokies and Bruins are together, and you use the same link every single day. Got it? We're going to post it in Google Classroom, and it will always be there. Okay. So if you miss meeting because you sleep in, or you have to go somewhere with your family and you can't join us for the meeting, then you can go onto Google Classroom and we will have some videos posted for you so you can do it without us. We really, 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 really want you to join us for our Zoom meetings. We hope that you come every single day so that you can actually talk with your friends, so you can get feedback from us, we can answer your questions. Zoom is not an option, it's an expectation. But if something happens and you can't make it that day, then you have the work will be posted in Google Classroom just in case. Okay? All right. What questions do you have for me and Miss Mayman? Or actually, Miss Mayman, do you have anything that you want to add on first, and then we'll do questions?
I think you've covered everything.
Okay.
I'll ask. I think we're open to questions right now.
Okay. If you have a question, you can either use the raise hand button or raise your hand in your video.
Can you get like dragon badges in Zoom?
That is a great question. Since we're no longer taking the SBAC, dragon training is not something we're necessarily working on right now. But you know what? We can talk with Mr. Roscoe and see if that's something that we can figure out how to do virtually.
Oh, cool.
That's a great question. Thank you for asking that question. Anyone else? What questions do you have for us? Alessandro?
Sometimes in our classes, does it affect sometimes when you don't do your works, would it what happens if you turn it late, like turn it in late?
If you turn in your work late, like we might contact your parents, or you might not get a grade from us right away, because we have specific times of the day where me and Miss Mayman go through and grade all of your work. So if you turn it in late, we just may not grade it right away, and we'll probably contact your parents to make sure everything's okay at home and give you some strategies on how to do it better next time.
Okay.
Great question. I just want to re-clarify, your Zoom meeting with us is not the only thing you're doing. If I go back to the schedule here. So you have time with me, then you have time with me and Miss Mayman, then you have time with Miss Hutt and Miss Hernandez later, but you also have some work outside this. So during the Zoom meeting, we'll give you like a question to answer, and you'll answer a read aloud question and do some writing some days, not every day. You'll be making a project at home. And I will post your schedule in Zoom and on Class Dojo for you as well. I mean, not on Zoom, sorry, in Google Classroom. So you can see what you're expected to do every day. Anything else? All right, well, me and Ms. Mayman, we miss you a whole lot, and we're so happy that you came to join us this morning. If you don't have any other questions, then we can end the meeting for you guys. Thank you for joining us this morning. You don't need to come to the one that's later today because it's the same thing, okay? This is the only one you need to come to. Thank you for joining us. We miss you so much, and we will see you tomorrow for our first live question. Yes, Alessandro, last question.
So every day there's gonna be two meetings?
Yes, every day you'll have 2 meetings. In the morning, you'll be meeting with me and Ms. Mayman, and in the afternoon, you'll be meeting with Ms. Hun, Ms. Hernandez.
Oh, okay.
Well, later in the morning, he'll be meeting with Ms. Hun, Ms. Hernandez at 9:45. And I will post the schedules in Google Classroom a little bit in like a couple minutes. Okay? All right. Love you all. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have a great day. I'm stopping sharing my screen so I can end the meeting. Bye, friends.
Bye, Rocketeers.